Hello guys and welcome back to Basketball Report, and we are still busy with our preview for the next season of each team, and we are at our champions of last seasons, the Milwaukee Bucks. But yeah, you can start.
Milwaukee Bucks. What's there to say? Obviously, we didn't have to do much off season. Obviously, we won the championship, but the moves they made were significant. It was small, but I'm sure it will play a big part. They got rid of PJ Tucker. The guy has more pairs of shoes than points, and they acquired players like Grayson Allen, and I think it's a good fit. And
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
it could help out the team, still young players. This team still needs to go places. I think the team stood up last season. They stepped up. I think they were really, in terms of media attention, people weren't paying attention to the Bucks.
Yeah,
It was all
no,
about the Nets. It was all about Philly and the East. And you can watch our previous videos. We've been on this Bucks team since day one. I think in February we said, watch out for this team.
yeah,
This team is going to be good. This team can still compete. This team will most likely be in the final. And that's what
that
happened.
happened and they won. And the biggest move, they won a championship with PJ Tucker, who scored 0 points in 40
And
minutes.
for anyone who says he's a good defender, he got dropped on 30 on a daily basis.
Yeah,
So not a good defender.
so not good. I think it's a good move. One thing I want to see them from this season is Drew Holiday and Middleton, and also Brook Lopez. Just bringing more
Yeah, they need
to,
to step up.
and also 1 point still a bit of where they lack. I think shooting guard. They
Yeah.
still need someone.
DiVincenzo was there, and he isn't.
Yeah,
I like Pat,
but
but
also he's
yeah.
not. It's not like this guy will give you like a Seth Curry, for example. This guy, when you press on his button,
Hopefully Grayson Allen can be that guy where you need
No.
on that shooting guard. Just to, I think like looking at players like maybe like Bogdan.
Mm.
You just need that guy who can come in, score you 20, and if he doesn't score you 20, it's fine, but he needs to give you that point. I think this team has good scoring, but I don't think the team has great scoring. I don't think you look at this team and think, wow, this is a great scoring team. I think you look at this team and you think this is a well-rounded team. They've got their star player in Giannis. They got their efficient scorer in Middleton. They got the player who does a bit of everything in Brook Lopez. And then also, Drew Holiday, who's a great defender. And I still think he should bring more to the table offensively.
Yeah,
It is difficult. There's a lot of names here.
They
But
have depth.
they have
also.
good depth. Boy,
Yeah.
Portis. Wow, what a 3-point shooting season he had. One of the best in the NBA. And obviously, DiVincenzo is not bad from a free as well. I like the addition of George Hill as well. Acquiring George Hill, I think, is also a nice move for them. Just a little bit of backup point guard for Drew Holiday. If Drew Holiday picks up something, George Hill will give you experience. But he can still let Covington or DiVincenzo run that spot. Even Grayson Allen, or you can just let Giannis take up the line. Whatever, this team's got options, and that's a nice thing. And that's why I still think this team is a contender going into the season.
Definitely.
But will they get the recognition they deserve this season? That's the big question as well.
I don't think so. I don't. I think we are going to go. We're going to, like last season, going to say, look out for the Bucks, because the Nets is going to be a huge topic.
The Lakers.
The
is gonna take over.
So I don't think they're not going to be in the limelight, if I can say, like spotlight. But I think definitely contenders. That's not even a question. The thing is, they are a championships team and they're still making moves for the better. So that just shows they are, making.
Yeah, they didn't stagnate.
They wasn't like, okay, we won the championship with this team, we're going to do it next season. They made some moves, and I think they did it for the better. And I personally think they are going to be in the final this year again. I think if they get out of the Eastern Conference final, I think it would be a L for them.
Definitely think obviously the expectation now is so much higher. Not only on Giannis, but also on the rest of the players and the Bucks. Especially with those big contracts. When Drew Holiday got his big contract,
Yeah.
we were kind of baffled. We were like, okay, well, if they win, then it's justified. If they're not going to win, this is their team. They've got 3 players on max contracts. Obviously, Giannis also has an extension, a massive extension.
Yeah.
Super max, obviously well deserved as he is MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. And I think this season he can make a push for him as well.
Yeah.
Definitely do think Giannis still would be in the MVP conversation this season. And if the Bucks are first in the East, he could maybe run away with both again.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I would say, top 3 easy in the East. Nets maybe first. Philly always has a good regular season, but they shit.
Yeah, we're not gonna do anything in the playoffs.
Go check out that video.
Maybe a dark horse like Atlanta can maybe push up to that third spot. Above Philly. I mean, it depends on the whole Ben Simmons situation. How's the chemistry? How's the locker room? But this team, minimal changes. This team knows each other. Most of the players on this team has been on this roster for quite a while. Obviously, Drew Holiday came last season, but now again, not shifting too much around the roster. That's the nice thing. The core players on the roster are still the same.
Yeah.
They know each other. They know each other's strengths. They know each other's weaknesses.
And as we know, Giannis is going to put in maximum effort to be better than he was last season. That's how he is.
I would love to see Giannis improving on 3-point shooting and shooting in general and free throws. If he can improve on that as well, he can take it to the next step. And I would also love to see Middleton just pushing up that points per game.
Yeah,
he's always around that 20. Very efficient 20, should be mentioned. Very efficient. But I would like to see him just go to that 23, 24.
Yeah,
I mean, if Middleton can do that,
and be consistently.
Yeah, consistent good.
That's what also. And also Drew, he needs to be consistent. Brook Lopez, also more consistent. So I think if they get consistency, really can hear that maybe 2 championships in a row. It's possible.
It's going to be difficult. I think the West this season, obviously there was a lot of injuries, but there's always a lot of injuries. But I think if this team could get out of the East, and the chances are very high for them getting out of the East, I think the final could be tight. There's a lot of great teams
the West
in the West at this stage. Yeah. And the West teams can still get better. Obviously, we're talking about don't know what the Mavs are going to do, don't know what the Lakers are going to do. The Nuggets still going to be strong. Suns are still going to be strong. So those are teams to look out for. Maybe we can see the Clippers making a last push. Kawhi, don't know when he's coming back. And even if Golden State Warriors can keep it afloat and get Clay back, don't know what's going to happen. So I think for this team now at this stage, it's just finding that extra player where you can just push into this team. Any type of situation, any type of game, go in, score me 15. That's what they need. They need a Bogdanovic.
6-man.
Yeah, they need that 6-man. They need a Lou Will, a Gallinari, Jamal Crawford. Oh, not now. Jay Crossover is a little bit old. But there's still players available that they can add to this roster who would just fit the bill perfectly.
Looking at the Pacers. We just talked about
them. I mean, Karis LeVert,
maybe.
DJ Warren, even.
There is options. But, as now, I think, this team is really solid. I think the feeling inside the locker room is also great. In, looking at Philly, I don't think it's a really happy place to be in now.
Yeah, and you also don't have to worry about the egos.
They don't have. They pass the ball. There isn't like.
I mean, Giannis is the main guy, but everyone knows Giannis is the main guy, and I think the problem with like the Nets, for example, is, obviously KD's the main guy, but James Harden would think he's the main guy. Kyrie would think he's the main guy, but everyone knows Giannis is the main guy. So once again, in terms of front office as well, Mike Budenholzer has been with this team long. He's been doing good. This team for the last 3 years has been exceptional. They've been good. They've been great. And for a team that really doesn't have like one of the best rosters in the NBA, I would say, they're doing fantastic and they fit the bill. And like I said, my final prediction is top 2. And I can see them making at least Eastern Conference Finals, but the chances are high. Finals again, and to win again, I would say they're the stage favorites. Even with what the Lakers, even with what the Nets, defending champs, you have to back the defending champions,
Yeah.
increasing on the roster that they have.
Yeah, they did make changes, so you can't. If Giannis comes back and decides to have 30-point average this season, and just scoring about 30% from 3-point. Yeah, it's a
That's all you
dangerous.
need.
This is a dangerous guy to have.
Just one out of every three pointers.
Yeah.
That's all he has to make.
It's all he has to make.
All
The
he has
thing
to
is,
take
we
is
know Giannis is quite unstoppable when he goes to the paint, and then also free throws. He gets foul, but he still has a good free throw, better than Ben Simmons, obviously.
Yeah, it's too inconsistent. Some games Giannis will be very solid from the line, 70-80% from the line. And other games he'll just be like 40-50, and he needs to stop that.
It must be about.
But I'm sure he's working on it.
Yeah, no, he's
Definitely
hard worker. So yeah, but final prediction, as Christian said, he's in definitely. I think Eastern Conference final definitely. That's what they, aiming for. And then I would say they definitely want to go to the finals again and defend that title. So that's what I think. I think they're going to the finals. Definitely top 2 in the East. And should be interesting what Giannis does this season and the Bucks as a whole. We know they almost had that one season where they had the best record in.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
If it wasn't for COVID, maybe. But yeah, this team, I wouldn't say they were unlucky because they weren't unlucky. But I think this team has been really, for media has been hard on this team. And just looking at what they've done from where they started, you have to give this whole franchise as a whole credit. And if anyone says that they're not contenders just because of injuries or COVID or whatever, then you're delusional.
Yeah,
so that's just my opinion. That's our opinions.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments what you think about the Bucks this season. And thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And as always,
Eat that jumper.